Our state lawmakers backtracking on education reform.
A landmark law passed 1 year ago may be headed for funding trouble because of the state's looming red ink problem. Our chief political correspondent Mark Davis is here now with an update. Mark?
Hi, Darren and Sonia. Good evening, everyone from the Hartford newsroom. The clock is ticking on this General Assembly session, which ends in less than a month, June the 5th, that is, June the 5th. And this begins now what is known as the dance, the budget dance between the governor and lawmakers. 1 year ago, the governor and the legislature made a commitment to the kids here at Gaffney School in New Britain, as well as kids and parents in the state's 29 other underperforming districts, that school reforms like intervention and teacher evaluations linked to teacher tenure would be the law of the land from now on, as well as the money to pay for it.
They cut a lot of money out, and that bulk of that money has to go back in.
The governor is talking about the Budget Writing Appropriations Committee, which has gutted about $50 million from Malloy's budget for this. Cuts that would greatly limit school reforms in the new law.
They absolutely do, and I suspect, at least in some people's minds, they would like to stop education reform.
And the teacher unions that had so much at stake are also worried.
I understand we don't have the money that we thought we had, but we certainly have to make smart choices in terms of where we want to be as a state educationally.
The powerful Senate chair of the committee, Toni Harp of New Haven, says she and most of the committee are all in favor of the education reform measures passed last year, but that the governor gutted several programs they think are important in his version of the budget.
After-school programs were eliminated from every department, and we put those in. We think they're as much a part of school reform as some of the other things in school reform.
Malloy believes that the education reform law will be part of his legacy, but Harp and others believe it cannot come at the expense of other programs.
Now that we are sitting together and working on it together, that we will work it out to make sure that all of the things that we thought were important and all the things that the executive branch thought were important are in the budget.
So the compromise may be to delay some of the education reforms, but the governor says that's not an option. That's something that'll have to be worked out between lawmakers and the governor in the next 4 weeks. Live from the Hartford newsroom, Mark Davis, News 8.